Hi folks, this is Anne-Marie from Anne-Marie Trades, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about candle development. I really appreciate all the mentions. I'm really glad I get to help some folks. You know what, if you can learn as much as you can possibly learn, anywhere you can learn it, well, let's hope the person that you're learning it from knows what they're doing, you can really, really save yourself a lot of heartache, a lot of trouble, and a lot of money. In any case, let's move on. What I wanted to do is talk to you a little bit more about candle development. Now, there are volumes of books written on candle charting, and if you don't know how it started, I urge you to go take a look because it is the most amazing story. Somebody charting how rice gets moved. It's crazy that it all works. I don't know. In any case, let's look at a couple of things specifically. There is so much to teach about this that maybe I'll just teach one thing at a time so I'm not blithering on for 10 minutes. And then you'll hear enough because, of course, you guys know I have ADD, and I think that's comical. I don't know if I really have it. Maybe I just get tired of listening. That's probably the truth. I probably just get tired of listening as opposed to not being able to. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at this candle right here. When we look at candles, I want you to think about two people in a game of tug of war. And one guy's on one end and one guy's on the other end. And where the candle opens is who has the advantage, and where the candle closes is who ends with the advantage. When we have something like this, we call these dojis. We call dojis loosely because a doji actually is equal, the open and close are equal, but when these things are so tight, we just go ahead and call them dojis, but in reality, that's exactly what it is. It must close and open at the same place. Now notice this, folks. When you look at candles, whether you're looking at candles on a 5-minute or a 15-minute or a 30-minute, if you're making decisions based on candles, you must wait for a confirmation candle, and you must wait until the end of that candle. Here's why. This is a prime example. We open here, but the bulls took this candle all the way up here. When we look at this, we go, wow, you know, that looks pretty bearish. But in the middle of the day, this was a big fat green candle. That's why it's very, very important for you to wait for the completion of the candle to actively have direction on what it is that you're doing. I find that to be critical, and it's a mistake I used to make all the time. So here's what I want you to learn. The bulls had stretched it all the way up here, but we ended right back down here, closer to the edge, a little bit of a bearish candle, right? Although we're opening and closing, it shows indecision, but at the end of the day, the bearish just had a little bit more oomph. Now, if we go to the next candle, we'll see that the bears even have more oomph here because we pull it all the way down there, and although it comes right back up, it's still lower than the day before, and it's making a lower low as opposed to breaking this low right here. It's not broken this low yet. In any case, that's what candles will tell you. So don't just look at the chart like, oh my goodness, you know, there's some folks that trade, they don't even use candles, and they're remarkable traders because they just use price levels, open and close. However you trade, just get good at that particular way. Me, I love candles. And I think candles really show market emotion. It shows who's excited and who has strength, and then who sort of fizzles out, right? Now here we've got almost complete balance. These kinds of candles for me are very, very important because they give away direction on the following day. Now here's the thing. Let's look at the following day. We've got a green candle, and we might think to ourselves, wow, you know, it opened and then closed above the open, so that's kind of good. Two big red signs right here. One, although it opens above the close, it still closes below the open and close of the prior candle. And though the bulls pulled it all the way up here during the day, the bears eventually forced them all the way back down. So for me, when I see a candle like this, I go, wow, you know what? I'm going to pay attention to that. This is called an opposing tail because this candle goes in this way and that one goes in that way. Usually gives you direction. For me, I'm not going to trade on these candles for two reasons. One, there's no confirmation of direction. And two, my moving averages are flat. I do not trade when moving averages are flat. Those of you that watch me, you know that I have a very high success ratio in my trades. Why? I'm highly selective about my trading. I used to be a serial trader. I would trade constantly on all different kinds of things. But at the end of the day, that's not, for me, that's not a good way to trade. For me, because I'm analytical, I do better if I'm taking a look at something, sizing it up, and pretty much loading my own dice, right? Because that's what I like to do. I like to go into the game knowing I've got a significant edge. And that's what's made me the money that I've made. So, after 6 minutes and 18 seconds, which is about the longest video I've ever done, I'm going to sign off, and next time we'll learn a little bit more about some other aspect of candles. All right? Have a great weekend. I won't be here Monday and Tuesday, but I'll be back to fight on